As I said, today is my third time. I've been here 3 years ago, and it's my great honor to be here again and talk to you about our strategy, about ourselves, and so on. The first year when I did 3 years ago, I talked about an 11 story, about 11 questions and the answer to our story and how we grew and what we did. Last year, I talked about mobile, because we saw that the mobile is increasing rapidly, and what we prepared for the mobile revolution. For this year, I was thinking, what other story can we convey to you? And we came up with the idea of introducing some first in Turkey, first event, or anything first that we see that was successful, and also that we like to continue to introduce and also implement for the growth. So this year is about the first in Turkey. It's a little bit different than the other stories that I had before. It might be a little bit PR, but I think it's good to understand our internal, our company spirit, and also our intention and strategy for the future. Before I go into details, a little bit introduction of the key numbers that we had accomplished in 2016. Our GMV numbers are still in calculation, so we will publish our numbers soon. But other than that, I think I would like to share a little bit of our accomplishment last year. Last year, the first traffic, we accomplished about 655 million on the whole year as a total. And this kind of, it's about roughly 55 million traffic on a monthly basis. So it's a huge growth from the years before. And that can see that we are continuously growing on the traffic side. 55 million on a monthly basis is huge, and this is all about mobile and web combined. The next is about total member. Since 2013, our member has grown from 1.5 to 8.2 million as an cumulative basis. Now having a lot of those members, we are questioning how much is the total pool? How much are we talking about that we can get as a maximum level of the numbers? We did a lot of analysis, but we came to the conclusion that out of 78 million total population, there was a study saying that about 22 million cards were out there, credit cards, I mean, and if we call, and on average, each individual on average had 1.4 cards, so which means that about 16 million had unique credit cards and had some experiences in doing shopping online. This is all including the not only the shopping, but also the airline tickets and services and so on. So we kind of estimated that the total pool as of now is about 16 to 17 million. Out of 16, 17 million, we have captured about half, which is 8.2. So there's some way more to go to increase our membership. In terms of the buyers, this is on annual basis. Last year, we could find out that our annual buyers numbers is about 2.7. 2.7 compared to the total members of 8.2 is still way to go. But last year, what we found out that people were coming to our site and made repeated purchase. So they, on average, in the earlier years, we had about 70% doing only one-time purchase, but nowadays it's the other way around. So we have 80% coming from the buyers, repeated purchase, and only 20% coming to our site for the first-time purchase. But this also, as we can say, needs further improvement, saying that we see the total pool of 16 million. Out of 16 million, our members, 8.2 million. Out of 8.2 million, accumulated, we have about 4 million, but on last year, 2.7 million buyers we have as our key asset. And one of the strategy is to increase that number more and more to match, be closer to the target. The next one is the app downloads. App downloads accumulated now, we have about 5 million. And 5 million also compared to the overall potential of 16 million overall pool, or at least 8 million of members. There are some more room and to grow, and this is where we will also continue to focus on to increase the mobile downloads. So with these numbers, since the beginning of our 2013, we kind of, in the initial years, we tried to focus on the brand awareness, build a lot to achieve awareness throughout Turkey and increasing the numbers of the members and do a lot of those things. But as we go along, way into 2020, we focus on initiative, unique, and our self-proprietary activities, which we call First in Turkey. So today I will talk a little bit more about this one. There has been a lot of different activities since the past, and to give you some brief explanation of what kind of examples we had as First in Turkey. In 2013, we started with the and first of all, we say that within a short period of time, we were able to say that we kind of attained market leadership and made a successful entry in Turkey. 3.5 years is a short time, and seen from the growth that I mentioned before, we pride ourselves in kind of making a very good entry in the market. But besides that, we have also, one of the first is the regional offices. We have now 4 regional offices across the region, and the meaning and the main reason for that is because we wanted to make sure that we get a lot of different products on our platform, not only from Istanbul or not only from Marmara, but we want to make sure that we have enough from every regions, and that's where our regional offices are massively supporting and very influential in acquiring the sellers in the local regions. Now we have about 50% of total sellers within Marmara region, and 50% of the sellers. We have about 60,000 sellers across the other regions. So therefore, we're able to provide not only very common SKUs or products within the Marmara region, but also across the regions, across the whole country. And then we have a free seller studio facility, not only acquiring the sellers, but also making sure that we provide the equipment and the facility for them to sell better online. So we provide some facility where you can take your photo and make it easier for you to sell them online. The next one is about seller training. Seller training is also a huge event. Based on those regional offices, we facilitate and organize seller tradings, mainly with those municipalities and trade associations within that region. In the early days, when it was not as much represented, the audience was not as big. It was about 20 to 30 people. Nowadays, we can see that those training organizations are fully packed with around 100 people attending. That means that more and more, especially local SMEs, local entrepreneurs, are willing and having interest in bringing their business online. And we see that as a good opportunity for them to co-work together and sell their goods on our platform. The next is about call center. 724 call center is also one of the first, especially in the marketplaces that we have. When we first discussed about this, because of the cost efficiency and so on, I proposed that we should focus on email. But my especially Turkish colleagues, told me that this is not the Turkish way, so we should invest in those. And it turned out that it was right. I mean, Turkish population people, they love to talk. They got instant reaction. I think this is one of the very good choices that we had at the very beginning. The last one is about one-day shopping festival, and this is about the things which I would like to talk about a little more today. The one-day shopping festival, 11/11. I would like to talk a little bit about 11/11. And we call this the luckiest campaign of the year, and it's on the November 11. Those of you who have heard me listen from the very first 2 years ago, 11, why our company is 11 is because 1 + 1, we say it's the best of the best. It's a lucky number, and we say that 11 is our company logo. So for that, it's quite natural that 11th November is our number. And this is what we prepared for a long time. If you can see, we had 11/11 campaigns since the beginning, with the motto of En uğurlu gün, the luckiest day of the whole year. And we did this from 2013, 14, and also 15, with a lot of preparation and with a focus. This was the kind of the focus of that year. Yeah? As a result, this is the result that we had compared 2015 and 2016. 5 times was the result, 5 times increase of GMV. In 2015, we did 13 million on one day. In 2016, 1 year after, we did 65 million TL. And that is usually, I mean, compared to 1 year ago, it was 5 times. But compared to, on that day, average GMV, in a daily GMV, it was more than 10 times. And so this was kind of also a surprise for us as well. The sold SKUs from 100K to 450K, so almost 5 times. Number of transactions also increased from almost 39,000 to 160,000. So it means that a lot of people engaged, a lot of people bought, and created a lot of value on our platform. But the most significant and most important, interesting thing is the portion of mobile traffic. Yeah? The mobile traffic, as I said last year, mobile is becoming more and more increasing. But what we found out, compared to 1 year ago of 37% mobile traffic, last year it grew up to 70%, and we were also very surprised ourselves, which means that the mobile is increasing, and mobile is getting more and more influential in terms of the user experience. So then, what did we do? How did we achieve this? We cut this into 3 different phases. We did a teaser, very own, effective use of communication channels, creating some teasers and putting this on SNS platforms so that people could know what was going on, or could be curious about what's going on. Then from October on, we started to add and collect coupons for 1 month. This was the new concept that we had introduced. So instead of giving an instant discount or instant benefit, we put some gamification factor into it, saying that, okay, you can buy this now, but you can buy this for more discount later on. And this was a kind of a new concept, which we had a lot of discussion of whether this would be useful or effective or not. But at the end, together with the teaser, together with the kind of gamification factor, it was very useful and successful. And the latest one was about the products. Of course, a lot of different products. As I said, 160,000 transactions were made. But also, to get some more attraction, we offered very unique and very kind of super products, we say, including cars, yacht, motorcycles, jet ski, and all the others. So, but except for the jet ski, we were able to solve them all. So it was a kind of, we created a bus, put some gamification, and with a good item offering, it was a good success overall. And this we can say about the preparation for that. Intensive preparation was about 2 months, but before that we started as early as July. Thinking about the coupon mechanism, campaign mechanism, and how to communicate, and how to talk, how to collaborate with the sellers, and so on. And then came the intense preparation since October. And of course, there were some lessons learned last year, and so on. And this year, we said, okay, let's increase our target. Let's create some more. And we already started 1 year ago. I mean, we started already about the planning and how to do this already. So it's not only 4 months, 5 months. It's almost 1 year that 1 year earlier that we are planning to have this kind of event. And then the expected 11/11 day has arrived. We did 24 hours. It started from the PM 24 at 12 o'clock midnight, 1 day earlier, and it covered the 24 hours. So it was kind of all over at that day. We had a lot of different coverage on different channels and different websites. And this is where this all started. One other thing that I mentioned, I would like to emphasize, is also about the way of how to work. I mean, it was a tough job, it was a tough challenge, and we had to work throughout 24 hours without sleep. But I think that therefore it's important to instill a kind of a can-do spirit and dig on the teamwork. So when we kind of, instead of, if we had just say, okay, let's do this without any, as kind of a top-down, or let's just do this because of the numbers, then it was obvious that it was very difficult to achieve. But rather than that, internally, we try to manage this as a kind of enjoy and fun and partying, and as a result, that was the result that happened. So I have a brief kind of video. For this, as I showed, I mean, this was one of our successes that I wanted to share with you, but I promise, we all promise that this kind of effort will be continuing, and also for this year, we already have started something big you can expect, and this kind of activities will be continued in the future. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.